Jenny and Mark Steele on Bow Radio.
Hey up, it's A Wee Natter. I'm Mark Steele, and across the table from me is
Jenny Steele.
And we are joining you on the week that Ullerton Lido may be reopening.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Ullerton Lido before?
No, but I think I've seen it today on the way out.
Yeah, it's better known as the McDonald's roundabout on the A614. The heavens have opened and the rain is collecting in there, so you can go for a little outdoor swim if you're brave enough. But that's not even the worst of the weather we've had this week, is it? No.
No.
What would you say is the worst of the weather we've had this week?
The snow that we've had.
The snow?
The snow Tuesday, and then the black ice, which led me not being able to get into me house.
Now, you say it was snow. Would you call it proper snow?
Proper snow.
Now, you see, I don't think it's proper snow until... You can take this music, which is the Ski Sunday music, and you can overlay it on footage of your neighbours driving down your road.
Yeah.
That's when you know it's proper snow, you know, and even add some commentary. You know, it's great for the socials. You know, Barry shoots for the hill and stops halfway up. What an amateur mistake. He'll never get going again. Or Linda's spinning her wheels like a washing machine. High gear and low traction. Everyone knows the rules. And despite all of that, the Postbag has arrived and we will be sharing your assembly bangers.
We will.
Of all the things we were talking about. After this one from you two, it's With or Without You. On A Wee Natter, you can catch us, by the way, on Bow Radio, Fashion Town Radio, Twitch TV, Mixcloud, and if you ask very nicely, we might shout it from the rooftops as well.
Oh, she's moved.
It's the sort of thing your parents used to say, we're going with or without you.
They will.
You better get moving. You too. On A Wee Natter. Thanks for joining us this fine Sunday evening. I've got a thank you as well. Special thanks to Anne L76 for tipping us £3 whole pounds. Thank you very much.
That's
for
amazing.
That will be used to feed Sooty, our little cat. She's quite small, isn't she?
She likes a bit of bonkers, doesn't she?
She is going to be swimming in bonkers because also joining in with Sandra Owens tipping us £10. So
Wow.
thank you very much for that. That will be going towards keeping the cat in treats, which is the only way to keep her happy. We haven't figured out any other way. And talking about happy, Stephen West has been in touch saying he's got a 4x4, so he's very happy with the cold weather.
Yeah, but I'm not, you see, unless it can take me to work, because I'm absolutely terrified driving in the snow, so much that you've had to take me every day, haven't you? Take me every day, pick me up, unless I get the bus back, which is always half an hour late.
Oh, it's just one of these things. I worked a job once where I not only dug myself into the car park in the first place at the start of my shift, I dug myself back out again afterwards. So I just deal with snow. It comes. It's one of these things that happens. And you said you'd quite like a 4x4 yourself, didn't you, Jenny?
Do you know, I slipped up because I should have got a 4x4. I quite fancy those Evokes.
Yeah, that's proper rich stuff.
I
4x4.
love them.
I had Fiat Panda in my head when you were talking about 4x4.
Evoke.
And also in touch is Henk Sands, tipping us €5.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Again, the cat she's going to be chonking. It's going to be, oh my lord, she's coming. That's what the vet's going to say when she turns up.
Got a coffee table
for
cat.
her next thing. Yeah, coffee table cat is the word for it. And we were asking you, and this is what you've been in touch with over the past week, about the assembly bangers. Remember in school, it's about once a week or something like that, we got dragged into assembly and we'd have to sing the bangers, wouldn't we?
Yes, we would.
Yeah, and we've had a couple of you in touch about that, haven't we?
Yeah, Sarah Hallam used to sing He's Got the Whole World in His Hands in the school assembly doing a happy clappy.
Happy clappy.
Yeah,
Well,
happy
I'll put some
clappy,
happy clappy
happy
music
clappy.
on. The only thing I think when I hear about he's got the whole world in his hands, he's got some bloody big hands, hasn't he? And you know what big hands means, don't you?
Cold heart.
Big gloves.
Oh.
Vicky Fairweather also to saying, I have to sing hymns at primary school such as He's Got the Whole World in His Hands, sing Hosanna, whatever that means. They let us off in high school, fortunately. It's a bit late for most of us now. How'd you manage that one, Vicky?
I know, I want to know as well.
I want to know how you managed that.
Listen to this one, Sam Killip. His school assembly tune was Rocking All Over the World by Status Quo.
Rocking all over. Seriously?
Yeah, it was included in one of our class assemblies when he was in year 5 of primary school, which feels like many moons ago now.
If you're listening to this show and you're joining us on whatever platform it is probably a long time ago, year primary 5. Although I do have a question for you, Sam. Did you by any chance go to the School of Rock? And the assembly would be turn to the fender and sing hymn 37, Jesus He Knows Me.
Bit of Phil Collins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit of rock music, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Stuart Warner saying, we plough the fields and scatter. I've never heard of that
I
one.
haven't.
Glad that I
live 'em. Glad that I live 'em.
are the only ones I can remember at the moment. We'll try and remember others. I genuinely,
I don't
these
know
are new
that
to
one.
me.
No, glad that I live 'em.
That's the sort of thing where it'd be like somebody's favourite hymn. And you've gone along to a wedding or something like that, and it's there, number 207, we're going to sing Glad That I Live I Am. And you're sitting there going, I can't even mime to this one.
I can't
Don't
even
know
know.
enough about it.
Iris Lloyd. Song at school was All Things Bright and Beautiful. I used to love that one.
But All Things Bright and Beautiful, when I
Yeah.
hear that, it's not hymns that stick in my mind. It's James Herriot. It's in the books, All Creatures Great and Small. I go to the next line. I don't stick on
Yeah,
the
of
first line.
course, yeah.
Yeah, it's except that's a set of books that I started on and never finished.
I used to love it. I don't like the new All Creatures Great and Small,
There's a new
unfortunately.
one?
Yeah, they've redone it, haven't they? I like the original with the original characters, but that's me all over.
Oh, get you. You're one of those people that's like, I can only watch the first version of it. I can't watch a remake.
Yeah.
And Hank saying, my school assembly banger is School's Out by Alice Cooper. Another person that
wow.
went to the School of Rock by the sounds of it. And talking about weird and wonderful sounds, scientists have brought the past into the future.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll share what that great news is about after this one from S Club 7. It's Reach. And you're going to sing along, aren't you? I know I am. I don't know about you, mainly because I am not you, and that'd be weird if I was. But am I the only person that knows more of the lyrics to this song than they probably should?
Yeah, you should have given us a show of you singing it and doing the actions.
Well, sing along to S Club 7's
Yeah.
Reach. Well, that should remain only in the shower cubicle. I don't think it needs to be shared out here. Although, talking about sharing, Sandra Owens is being in touch, asking, did you see the little black kitten called John stuck with its head coming out the end of a drain pipe this week?
I didn't know.
No, that sounds quite sad. Thankfully, happy ending, rescued by the fire brigade.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so good news came out of it in the end. But no, we completely missed that one. I need to get up to date with my cat and kitten news. Which is a bit more difficult now because Blue Sky's become a popular thing now, hasn't it?
Yeah, Sutty's got her own Blue Sky account now, you know.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that my cat had a Blue Sky account, but apparently she's more on it than I am.
She's solid Sutty at, what do you call it? At bluesky.social, is it?
Something like that.
Yeah, that's the one.
We're all on there now. We're all
Yeah.
trying to figure it out, and we're all confused as to why we need another one. But here we go. And talking about confused, scientists have brought the past into the future. Yeah, it sounds great, doesn't it? Well, what they've done is they've done a bit of mucking about, right? And they've tried to figure out what King Dick III would sound like.
Yeah.
By recreating what his voice would be based on, the shape of his neck or something like that. I don't know. There's proper scientific stuff going on. They managed to come up with it. And he sounds, well, the only way I could describe it is nerving.
Oh, wow.
Do you want to hear King Dick
let's have a
III?
listen.
The clarity and charity of the sun's light
What?
is so great that when it is poured on the other heavenly bodies, the sun sheens with no less light and splendour.
He sounds sort of from Newcastle, but not quite, doesn't he?
That's a little bit. It sounded Irish.
It's like you can hear the accent drifting
Yeah.
around. It's a bit like when you try and put an accent on yourself and it sort of drifts from continent to continent. This is apparently done by AI or computer or something like that. They've done all this clever stuff, the scientists, but got me wondering that, they're able to do that sort of thing. What if they could put it back together and, bring it together? What would you love to see or hear from the past? You just can't do it at the moment.
Ooh.
There's a question, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is, yeah.
Yeah.
What would
Tricky
you
one.
love to see or do from the past?
See or hear from the past.
See or hear from the
Because
past.
you were able to hear King Dick III there. You weren't able to hear him before, were you?
Somebody asking for a marathon
Somebody asking.
before it was called sneakers.
That's a fair idea, yes. I assume there's something like that on tape somewhere.
If Sutty if AI created a voice for Sutty, what would it sound like?
What, for As in, if AI was able to interpret what animals were saying into human speech.
Yeah, do you think she sounded like?
I don't know. Genuinely don't know. I don't know whether, it'd be a bit like, the size matches the sound, where she's quite small, so it'll be quite high pitched. Or it's like, all right, fags and booze, that kind of thing going on.
Which was from Mansfield, do you think she'd have a bit of a northern accent?
A Mansfield accent?
Mansfield saying all reet.
Do you say all reet in Mansfield?
Yeah.
I'm taking your advice on this one, because you're the yokel.
Calling everybody duck.
You think a cat will go around calling everyone duck?
Yeah, it was a bonkers duck.
Yeah, and then get confused, going, hang on, duck? Yeah, I like duck. And they start going bonkers off the back of it or something. But, if I was able to, see or hear things from the past, you just can't do nowadays. It might be watch some great plays when they first came out, like Shakespeare before he became big.
Yeah.
Down the flat roof pub of yore. Go and see it when he's really small, or something like going to the Library of Alexandria before it burned down. You could go read all the stuff that the ancients knew, but then they forgot because it all got burnt down.
Or something not so far back, like Coldplay before they got big. Playing down the local working man's club or something.
So we're going to open this one up to you. They've got this technology now. What would you like to see or hear from the past? You just can't do it at the moment. Let us know what we want to hear, because I'm sure you could come up with far better ideas here than we can. But why not give us a call, 0115 888 3268. You can email weenatter@solidradio.co.uk, or you can hop on the live chats on Mixcloud or Twitch TV, and we'll catch you in there as well. In the words of Dandelion, absolutely love this tune, very emotional, and Hank saying this is a very nice one. It is indeed. Mike and the Mechanics, Living Years on A Wee Natter. Thanks for joining us this fine Sunday evening, where we are chatting about the fact that scientists have managed to recreate the voice of King Dickie III.
Yeah.
Was he the one that was under the car park in Leicester?
I don't know. I think
he might have
it
been.
might have been him. Yeah. What were they doing? Just relaying the tarmac or something, and they found his bones, didn't they?
This is just like NCP digging up the place. It's like, we got an old English king here.
Yeah, as we do.
But yeah, they managed to recreate his voice. So we're asking about the things that you would like to see recreated from history. Just aren't around nowadays. Hank asking for the Cockney dialects, like the original old-fashioned Cockney stuff.
Cockney dialect. Cool, blimey, Gov. Do you mean like that?
The kind of like
all the
that,
apples and pears.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. Sandra was saying, I used to enjoy seeing the coal man coming round with his horse and cart.
I don't remember the horse and cart, but I can remember the coal man coming around when you used to have the metal bins and they'd just sling them over the shoulder and then tip them in the bin. Nowadays, you've got to put them right to the dustbin lorry, haven't you? And then they go around and check and see if you've got the right amount of litter in there, get the tape measure out, measure it, see if it's fitting okay, and if not, leave it, lads.
Interesting you mentioned the coal man, because it feels like such an old-fashioned thing, but there are still people driving around Britain delivering coal to people's houses, because there's still a lot of people that don't have central heating and things like that.
But I love to smell it. When you're walking on these quaint little villages and you see the smoke coming out the chimneys and you can smell it. It smells lovely.
PG31 Cat saying, I'd like to go back in time and see women get the vote.
Yes.
So the suffragettes who, if you compare them to, some of the protesters nowadays.
Sooty agrees, she's just jumped up.
Yeah, we're putting not Just Stop Oil in jail and things like that. I kind of get it. They've been doing things over and over that they're told not to do. But the suffragettes, they were on a whole other level.
They were.
They were properly violent at times. But they're also saying, my great-great-grandmother's house was near Mrs. Pankhurst's. One of the big names, or to go back in time and see the Great Pyramids being built.
Wow.
So you can figure out that it's not aliens, and you can then tell the History Channel so they can drop all the shows they made about it being, ancient aliens and things like that.
What about Stonehenge?
Stonehenge. That's a giant clock, isn't it? It's effectively a fancy clock.
Well, yeah.
They didn't have mechanical systems like I know this, but they weren't thick. They could figure these things out. So they're quite smart people, and they put together this giant, whether it's clock or calendar, something to do with it. The problem is when it comes to daylight savings, you have to adjust it for an hour every. It's a pain in the backside, isn't it? Proper pain. And also, Stephen saying, I would love to hear Hitler's discussions with his cronies from the past, or Starmer's cabinet meetings. Not much difference. There we go. A political view there. And I'm sure we could have said the same about a certain Mrs. Thatcher as well. Come
Covers versus originals.
Not giving away my political views there, I'm just saying that, there's always somebody upset with whoever's in charge. But anyway, yes, covers versus originals is the bit where we put you in charge. We're not allowed to pick the music. You've got to pick the music, and you got choose between the cover version and the original version of a song. The only problem is, it's a cover and a cover this week. I know I'm breaking the rules before we start, but it's a cover and a cover because I looked really hard for the original and couldn't find it, couldn't get a hold of it. So I had to go for a slightly later version. And this week...
That's what's going on. Nothing's fine, I'm torn.
You're choosing whether it's Natalie Imbruglia with the cover version of Torn.
How I feel. I'm cold and I am shamed. Lying naked on the That's what's going on. And nothing's fine, I'm torn.
Or would you prefer Train Rain
Wow.
with a slightly older version? Not the original, but not far off.
Lying naked on the floor.
The decision as to which one plays is entirely up to you. We don't get to choose.
I thought Natalie Imbruglia was the original.
Natalie Imbruglia was not the
Wow.
original. She covered the song. And even that one that we did as the original's a cover as well.
Oh, all right.
But, you still get to choose. Give us a call, 0115 888 3268. You can email Wee Natter at solidradio.co.uk, or you can send a pigeon, just tie a little message to it. I was going to say wing, that wouldn't be a good idea, it wouldn't be able to fly very well, but tie it to the feet of the pigeon, send it over, we'll catch it, and we'll send the pigeon back your way. And then while you're deciding, we'll give you some cracking tunes, including this one from the Fine Young Cannibals. Is this the bit of the show where we met that huffing chimney smoke when we were younger is what probably messed us up? Hank also in touch saying Stoke Martiners have a lot of chimney smoking now because of the cold. We've got that going on here in Nottinghamshire as well. I'm sure around the country as well. And it reminds them of the old times. It reminds us of the old times as well.
Me, I love it.
It's kind of funny, you smell wood or you smell coal. You can tell the difference between the two. It's weird like that. And it just takes you straight back, doesn't it?
Yes.
Covers versus originals.
Indeed, it's the point where you're making a difficult decision between a cover and a cover. Although we're calling one of them the original because it's slightly older than the other. We're choosing between Natalie Imbruglia or Train Rain. I'm assuming that's how you say the name.
No idea.
I should have probably checked that beforehand. I'm sure if I look on Wikipedia, it's got a little pronunciation thing with the weird symbols. You know what I'm on about, don't you?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah, but I can't read those, so I don't know why I'd be looking at them. But a few of you be in touch, including Vicky saying Natalie, please. Hank asking for Natalie as well, and saying his pigeons on strike.
Is Pigeons on strike?
His pigeons on strike. PG Cat, Very One Cat, Natalie, the video was great too. Danielle Efferin saying Natalie, and Anne L76 saying Natalie as well.
I want Natalie as well.
It's all sounding very one-sided,
Yeah.
but you can still change it. You can still choose between
That's what's going on. Nothing's fine, I'm torn.
Natalie Imbruglia, which is the one you usually hear on the wireless, or
That's what's going on. And nothing's fine, I'm torn. I'm all out of faith.
you can have Train Rain as well. Ooh, the choice is yours. You can change the vote. Just get in touch. But you've only got a couple of minutes to do it. After Two Door Summer Club stops singing, that's it. Your time is up. So you better make that decision quickly. There's a banjo here too often. Two Door Cinema Club. Something good can work.
I love that one.
It's on A Wee Natter, which is on Bow Radio, Fatcham Town Radio, Twitch TV, Mixcloud, or I'm sure if we stick a signal flare up, you can interpret that as well.
Yeah.
Options are available. Sometimes we'll even get the semaphore flags out if you ask nicely. Yeah. We'll do it on video and you can work out what we're saying that way. And you're choosing which version of Torn we'll be playing in a second. It's come down to the wire, but you could probably guess which way the decision's gone.
Covers versus originals.
Indeed, it was a very tough decision, and even with a last-minute vote from Stephen Hall, what was he saying in his last-minute vote?
So Stephen Hall had to Google the singer. I must admit, I'd never heard of Train Rain, is it? He just Spotified a voice, and he really likes the voice better than Old Nats. So he's going for
Natalie
the other
Imbruglia.
one. No, he's going for Train Rain because he loves the voice.
Oh, go for Train Rain. A Norwegian-American singer. I don't know how that works. When they say you're from two countries, because you can only be born in one country, can you?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you've got connections to both of them. But
Stuff.
as you've guessed, the decision has gone very much in one direction. It is for Natalie Imbruglia, a version of Torn. And next week, we might even make it a little bit festive as we get into December. We'll see what happens. And talking of festive, we've got the return of something else next. I don't know much about military manoeuvres, so I'm going to assume this jam do and accept that dancing to the beat when you surrender is a thing that the militaries do.
Oh, right.
That's what I'm assuming the song's about.
No, sure.
I have no idea. And before that, you chose Natalie Imbruglia's version of Torn.
Ho, ho, ho! It's the Great Mince Pie Hunt! Ho, ho, ho!
Yes, it's that time of year as we're getting towards the big C word, but we're not in December yet, so we're not allowed to use the full word. So we've got to still call it the C word. Not to be confused with the other C word. The other C word we're not allowed to say at all. This C word we can talk about.
Yeah.
But only indirectly. Anyway, the point is we're looking for the best mince pie to put on your C word table.
Yeah.
So that you can enjoy it I'm going to get it right, when you're preparing yourself for the King's Speech, you're stuffing yourself up.
Can I go round everybody's Christmas table?
You wanted to steal a bit of everyone's Christmas dinner?
Yeah.
Have you ever actually done more than one Christmas dinner in the day before?
I haven't, but I'm willing to give it a go. I'm sure I can manage.
You'll do it once and then you'll hope never to do it again. But the important bit is we're looking for the best mince pie to have on that table, because every year they make them all slightly different.
They do.
Which means that some of them might have been good last year, not necessarily good this
Rubbish
year, is
this
it?
year.
No. We've had one entry in the chart so far, so our leader and loser at the moment as it stands is Tesco Finest all butter pastry mince pies.
No, I liked them last year, but this year I didn't think that they tasted of anything.
Oh.
I was a little bit disappointed.
Well, today we're going to do something from another supermarket, one of the competitors. It is Sainsbury's Taste the Difference mince pies with all butter pastry.
They've got brandy in as well, I noticed.
That just means they're flammable, doesn't it? you can, you stick it under a tree and go, and it goes up and takes the tree with it. But you've got a couple of things you score them on, so let's get you scoring, Jenny.
So I've got them on the look, presentation, that sort of thing. So I really love the little snowflake with the dusting of the icing sugar.
All right.
I took mine out the wrapper in anticipation ready. I did struggle to get it out the case and it fell apart. So the top part's come.
It's in bits.
It's in bits, but show them the other bit. The top part's come off.
The lid of the pie.
The lid of the pie
has come off. There you go, a little snowflake.
Oh dear, but it's pretty anyway. So I can smell the brandy, so I'm happy. So let me just have a.
You're
See,
gonna
I can't
have a
eat it 'cause
taste.
it's crumbling in my hand, but I'm going to try my best.
Oh, that might score it badly then if you can't eat it. How are you going to score it? Oh, she's managed to eat it. Good news, she's managed to eat her mince pie.
I like this one because it tastes moist. I can really taste the brandy.
All right.
I'm going to put it before Tesco, so it's the winning at the minute. But the only thing that's let it down is it's just fell all over the shop.
Oh, so it's a bit hard to
No,
eat.
show that.
It has fallen to bits. When I say
Look at
show,
it, look at it.
but we are. You can watch the radio, Mixcloud and Twitch TV, and I'm showing a mince pie that has fallen apart. Most people just stuff it in their face in one go. Jenny's like, no, I'm going to try and eat it daintily.
It's just gone, hasn't it? But it does taste nice, though.
It has gone. And now that we've got two items in our charts, it means by radio law. Two, we've got Tesco Finest all butter pastry mince pies. They keep adding words to these things. And at number one, it is Sainsbury's Taste the Difference mince pies with all butter pastry. But there might be a better one out there, and we need you to tell us about the ones that we might miss otherwise.
Yes.
Drop us a line. Tell us about those mince pies that we might not otherwise come across. They might be special to the area that you live in.
Yeah.
We want to hear about them. We want to share them
If
with
they
the
are,
world.
can they send us a sample? Gotta try it.
I'll just send Jenny on the bus. It's still £2 a pop on the bus, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yes, and to keep us in the C-word mood, and by request...
Yes.
I can't believe we're going to do this because it's not December yet, but I'm going to pop on Fairy Tale of New York. It's A Wee Natter. Thanks for joining us.
was
I will admit I'm playing this song with absolutely no shame, but my request for Anne...
Little Hayes.
Little Hayes is his name, isn't it? Fairy Tale of New York, The Pogues, and Kirsty MacColl, of course. And before that, we were chatting about mince pies and looking for the very best mince pie out there. We've been asked if we're going to try Greg's out. Of course we are. They usually do quite well, so they are going to be in the running. And Dandelion has dropped a line to say, "You're making me hungry."
Oh, get the mince pies down, you dandelion.
The only problem is if you eat too many mince pies, you end up looking a bit like me. So it is a trade-off. And talking about mistakes, there's a chap that made a sort of mistake that, well, I make very easily. I don't know about you, Jane. Do you make that sort of mistake very easily?
Not really, no, but can I just say something?
What?
I want a brew now.
Find out what the mistake is after this one from Nanorama, and we check in with Busted and why they go to school.
That's what I go to school for.
McBusted.
Well, actually, I was just busted in those days, wasn't it? What I go to school for?
Wasn't that McFly? Not McFly. Yeah, McFly and Busted. McBusted.
They did become McBusted. And that's one of these weird claim to fame things I've got. I actually rescued a McBusted event. They were coming to do a thing for a radio station I worked for at the time. I wasn't one of the DJs, no, I was just some engineering man. But they'd set it all up, and this piece of equipment had broken. And the guy that set it up didn't know how to fix it. So I got dragged in to help. I had to come up with a cunning plan and a rescue mission to Maplin, of all places.
That's not even there anymore, is it?
Doesn't exist anymore. So I rescued the McBusted event with a trip to Maplin and fighting some equipment with a soldering iron. Not a good plan, but...
It's never a good plan when you've got a soldering iron in your hand.
It usually means something's melting, and it's not always the thing that we intended to melt. And Vicky Fairweather was saying that brings back memories. I used to listen to Busted when I was about 15. I thought they were great then. And you still think they're great now, don't you?
Yeah.
You're not going to admit it, but you think they're great now. And I love how our look at the best mince pies. And Jay's talking about her cat who's just sneaking around underneath the camera view. But how our talk about looking for the best mince pies has brought a discussion up about Christmas TV adverts. And the thing that blows my mind is a TV advert getting released. It's now a big cultural event.
It is, yeah.
You know, people actually put it in their calendar of, oh my God, the John Lewis advert's going to come out. It's going to be on, November 27th. And they've got it marked on the calendar, ready for the countdown. It's madness, but, a few of you have been talking about some of your favourites, including PG-31 Cat saying this year it's the Boots one is a good one,
I've
apparently.
not seen any, to be honest, this year.
And you watch a lot of TV?
No.
You've not seen
I don't think I do. Only the classic Corrie and that.
I keep seeing Pepsi ones because they must assume I'm all alternative or something like that.
Well, you give me that $5 so I can skip all the ads.
I may have paid for the extra option on Sky Stream to skip over the ads, yes. So you don't see a lot of them. But Sandra's saying she likes the M&S ones. And Hank's saying Coca-Cola have chosen not to ride with a big truck in Christmas this year because of the atmospheric, and environmental reasons and things like that.
Ah, right.
But still, didn't they try a newer ad? It didn't go very well. And then they went back to the
Holidays
trucks.
are coming.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird how we're talking about Christmas adverts.
Yeah.
And it's become this big cultural thing.
What was was it John Lewis where they did the Elton John one? I thought that was quite good. That was either last year or the year before when he gets a gift of a piano when he's a kid and it goes through all his early stages of learning to play and when he was at his peak in the 70s and the 80s and... what the song was they went with.
When you say Elton John and festive, my mind instantly goes to... No, I'm not going to play it. Step Into Christmas.
Yeah, we'll have that on next week.
Well, when we get into December, we're not allowed to play any more.
Next week.
We're not allowed to play any more Christmas songs. We got in trouble for the one we've already played. Never mind the other ones.
That was a request. We're allowed.
Yeah, we're not allowed any more of them. It's the Chili's with Snow. Hey, oh. And actually, that's a point. Are we familiar enough with them to call them the Chili's?
Yeah, I think we are.
Is it a bit like, when you get in trouble and your parents use your full name, Red Hot Chili Peppers? When they hear the full name, they know they're really in trouble and something's gone wrong.
So if you call them the Chili's, they know that everything's all right.
Everything's all right. Talk about everything being all right. We're still talking about Christmas TV adverts. And we've had another vote come in, and this time from Dandelion saying, my favourite is All Day with Kevin the Carrot and Friends.
Ah.
I didn't realise that they were still doing the carrot thing.
Yes, I don't think I think I saw a couple of those ads, but I didn't. Who's Kevin the Carrot's friends then? Is that like other veg, like
It is other
broccoli
vegetables.
and stuff?
Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to convince kids that you have to have the healthy bits of the Christmas dinner, not
Yeah.
just all the sweet bits
Yeah.
as well.
Musical freedom.
And this is a part of the show where we usually get in trouble, on top of all the other bits when we get in trouble as well. And we play a song that you don't normally get to hear on the wireless. And not just one that's from a well-known band, although this week it is from a well-known band. So I'm confusing myself with that one. But the point is the radio stations don't play a lot of music. They play some very good music, but there's a whole bunch of stuff deep in the archives that we're never allowed to get out and bring to share with you. But this week, I want to bring you one of those. And this week, we're doing it a little bit differently. We're going to take a well-known artist and we're going to play one of their lesser-known songs.
Oh wow!
Yeah. We're going with Queen.
Ooh.
You know who Queen is,
I do, yes.
Yeah. Can you think of a less well-known song of theirs that you might want to hear?
Well, it might be one of my favourites. I don't like Queen. If I'm honest with you, I've never really liked Queen. But the only one I've ever liked of Queen, which I don't think you had heard of until I actually told you about it.
It's going to be Breakthrough?
No.
Or in Headlong?
No.
I'm going Headlong.
No.
No? Okay. Killer Queen?
No.
Love of My Life?
No.
Princes of the Universe?
No.
Seven Seas of Rye?
No.
Thank God It's Christmas?
No.
Visible Man?
No.
Who Wants to Live Forever from
No.
High? You're not even a Highlander fan?
No.
What's wrong with you? We need to get that fixed. What have we gone with then?
I'm not sure because you never tell me, but
All right.
I'm going to guess if it's one of those obscure ones, you're going to have Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy.
And you'd be correct.
I can dim the lights and see
She's so lovely, she's so lovely. I don't know, it's Heartbeat, this one, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's Scouting for Girls. I wondered, are they still going? Are they still doing a thing? Apparently, they released a single last year.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
And before that, Freddie Mercury and Queen, of course, and good old-fashioned Lover Boy with PG-31 Cats saying Freddie Mercury, a legend, and he loves cats as well.
Yeah, I did see that actually. Little clip of him with his cat. Stephen Hall says his favourite is It's a Hard Life.
Oh, we've got that one.
Yeah,
It's a
and-
cracking song.
And do you remember the Woolies adverts, Christmas adverts?
Oh, and
Woolworths, a cracker of a Christmas shopping spree.
you're taking us back a very long time. How long has
remember.
Woolworths been dead?
I don't know, but I don't remember the Woolies adverts.
I remember bits of them, but it's that long ago, it's all a bit vague.
The Super Shonky Sunday Quiz.
A Wee Natter with Jenny and Mark Steele on Bow Radio.
And it's time for the quiz that is so cerebral, it's got just one question. It's so high budget, its prize consists of if you get the answer correct, or if you're a bit more like me. It's as simple as that. We can't stretch the budget any further than that. And this week, we're going to be going for a question from the 1990s pack of the Trivial Pursuit mini pack. And I thought these were for using in the Trivial Pursuit game. They're their own separate game. And I'm an idiot and I didn't read the Amazon listing properly. But we do have a fantastic question. I want you to figure out the answer on. A little scientific one from the 1990s. So it won't be based on an answer that they came up with yesterday or anything like that. But what celestial bodies did astronomers detect orbiting outside of our solar system for the first time in 1991? That's a tricky one, isn't it?
I'm waiting for Stephen Hall because obviously we go together.
You share answers. do you?
Yeah.
Okay. What celestial bodies did astronomers detect orbiting outside our solar system for the first time in 1991? If you think you know, give me a call. I've got a phone number. You dial it. It rings. 0115 888 3268. Or you can email weenatter@solidradio.co.uk. Or you can get on the live chat and poke your answer in there as well and show off that you're an expert in scientific history of the 1990s. One of those songs is very catchy and quite fantastic. Just don't think about the lyrics too much. Don't concentrate on that at all. Just enjoy the melody.
The Super Shonky Sunday Quiz.
A Wee Natter with Jenny and Mark Steele on Bow Radio.
And our genius moment there is it turns out if you press buttons, things happen. If you don't press button, things don't happen. And we were asking you our tough little question about astronomy and which celestial bodies did astronomers detect orbiting outside of our solar system for the first time in 1991. We've had a couple of guesses, including from PG31 Cat saying black hole. You mean like this?
Supermassive black hole.
No, it's not a black hole. So unfortunately, I do have to press the... Also being in touch is Sandra Owens and Hank with the same answer. And it is Uranus.
What's that?
Well, anytime you say Uranus,
Yeah.
it's just assumed that you have to play Rimshot off the back of it because there's going to be some bad joke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, what did you see last night? Uranus. Not the planet, but unfortunately it is the wrong answer. And Vicky Fairweather in with a guess that happens to be the correct answer.
Wow.
How about yourself, Jenny? What did you say?
Well, me and Stephen Hall, we were initially going for large floating squirrels, but we've changed it to large floating rocks.
Large floating squirrels. Large floating rocks.
Yeah, are we right?
I have to give you a wrong answer because it's not specific enough. Space is full of large floating rocks, but...
But you know, he said astronomy will be much more interesting if there were animals involved. I'd like to agree.
What, is in helping you with astronomy, or
Yeah.
you're spotting animals in space? They're very, very different things. I mean, have you heard of the celestial teapot?
No?
So it's this whole concept that there might be, because space is so big, there might be a teapot that is orbiting the Earth, or, you know, orbiting around the sun or something like that, and we would never know about it.
Wow.
The celestial teapot is out there. It's
I
happening.
wonder where I put it down.
It's up there with Musk's car. They'll smash into each other at some point. Because then you stick one on a rocket and, let it go. Yeah, so if you think you don't know what was actually detected for the first time in 1991, we would love to hear it. And we'll be sharing the correct answer after this one from Hanson. And it's not the one you normally hear. It's Penny and Me Tonight.
Cigars in the
With them singing about starry skies, they're inadvertently joining our topic about the starry skies and what was detected in 1991 as part of the Super Shonky Sunday quiz. Did you get the answer right? We'll find out in a moment.
The Super Shonky Sunday Quiz.
A Wee Natter with Jenny and Mark Steele on Bow Radio.
Where we were asking a quite tough wee question, weren't you?
Yeah.
What celestial bodies did astronomers detect orbiting outside the solar system for the first time in 1991? We've had a couple of last-minute guesses from PG31 Cat, including a comet, and that includes the ones made of rock and the shops as well. So double on that one. And a guess of the clangers and the soup dragon.
Oh, I love it.
They were seen well before 1991.
Has Cheryl not woke Dave up yet? Have we had an answer from Cheryl?
Not quite yet, but, talking about the clangers, wasn't on that whole thing of the script for the clangers actually had proper, English words.
All right.
But they would whistle along to the English words, including some Swahili ones as well.
Oh.
And no, you couldn't tell unless somebody actually sat the script side by side and you could tell what they were whistling.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I don't know how true that is, but that's one of these things I remember hearing. And Danielle Ferry slipping in at the very last second with exoplanets, which is the correct answer. So well done if you managed to figure out it was planets. They were 3 Earth-sized planets orbiting a dying star in the constellation Virgo. Not to be confused with John Virgo. He's not a constellation. He's not a bunch of stars. He's a snooker man, isn't he?
He is
from
a
Big
snooker
Break?
man.
And a few other things
Yeah.
as well. And on that note, we promised you some chat about a guy that made the sort of mistake I might make. Jenny's claiming she never made that sort of mistake. We'll chat about the mistake and the chap after this one from the Artful Dodger and a bit of Justin Timberlake gets his sexy back. Justin Timberlake and Timbaland are bringing sexy back, because if I was bringing sexy back, sexy, it wasn't there in the first place. And on that cheery note, Jenny wishes to share the story of somebody making a mistake. Explain the mistake, Jenny.
I do. A man calling on Tesco to change the packaging of its toilet cleaning wipes. Now remember this, toilet cleaning wipes, after he was left with burning pain when he mistakenly used them as loo roll for days. You get where I'm coming from?
Oh, burning ring of fire, yes.
So let me try and tell this in a not so crude way, but he developed soreness around his rear end and was confused until he suddenly realised he'd been using the antibacterial toilet cleaner wipes as bum wipes. He said, I've come through the worst of it now. I had to use pseudo-creme down there for a week. But it's just like, how would you make that mistake? But the packaging apparently looks quite similar. I mean, I've never used toilet wipes for either end. But I don't know how. Well, using the ones, you'd think, hang on, something don't feel right here. I've got a bit of a burning pain. I know what I'll do. I'll carry on using them for a week. I'll just get that pseudo-creme in. It'll be all right.
Oh no, that's like using that tingly what do they call it, the tingly minty shampoo in more sensitive areas. It seems like a good idea. It's not a good idea.
You're not talking about hair removing cream?
No, I am not talking about that. And I'm sure that burns just as much. And talking about mistakes, it turns out it's not just people that make mistakes, but companies do as well. Yeah, we'll have a chat about a company making a rather big one after this one from the Gin Blossoms. It's Hey Jealousy on A Wee Natter. Sounding like it came straight off a Shine album. Although, according to my sources, it didn't.
Well, I love those Shine albums.
Gin Blossoms did appear, but with Fall You Down, not with Hey
Fall
Jealousy.
You Down.
Yeah, so Wee Natter, where we're learning about making mistakes. And we're chatting about a chappie who mistakenly mixed up toilet paper and toilet cleaning wipes and got quite the wake-up call in the process, didn't he?
He did. Stephen Orr's just absolutely cracked me up. He's just going, those wipes were amazing. They get everything off. Even his skin, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm guessing the things you didn't want to come off as well. And talking about mistakes, there is a company that made quite a mistake recently. You heard about Jaguar's Rebrand?
No.
That is in the cars. Not like the animal. They haven't decided, Jaguars are now called Panthers or something. No, it's the cars we're talking about. Apparently it's very woke.
Is it?
It's all woke, the change. They got rid of the cat from the car's badge.
No.
And they've changed the logo to be Jaguar in some weird font. You look genuinely upset.
Just remind me of the Robin. Oh gosh, what is it? The Nottingham Building Society that's got rid of the Robin Hood logo and just got Nottingham Building Society in some peculiar font. It's Robin Hood. It's Nottingham. What's wrong with that?
I get what you're saying. So apparently they've made a bit of a mistake this one. Personally, I thought they got it right when they were doing the Atari Jaguar. I think that's when they had the base branding. You're looking at me weird.
I don't know that, I know. Atari is in the computer game.
Yeah, it was a games console.
Ah.
Nothing to do with the cars.
Okay.
But I'm thinking if you were in charge of Jaguar cars and they're saying, you need to have a bit of rebrand, you need to have a bit of a modernisation, I would have gone, you should go and do a full Snoop Dogg and go to a completely different animal. Move on from Jaguars. Jaguar isn't British. Jaguar's not a British animal. You don't go into the countryside and see badgers and jaguars together. It doesn't work like that, does it?
Would you have a badger on the bonnet then?
I wouldn't go with badger. Badgers are angry. But badgers will have you in a fight.
Bodger?
I'm not going to put bodger on there either. It seems a lot of mashed potatoes and all that. I would go for something like ferret.
Ferret?
I'd rebrand them to ferret because quite manoeuvrable, quite fast. Wee cars are quite nippy as well, and I'm sure they bite back if you do anything wrong.
Well, you could say that it's got a lot of bite to it. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
Yeah, and ferrets bite a lot of things as well, don't they?
Yeah.
Do they still do that thing in pubs where they have a guy come in with his ferret and send it down their trousers?
On a lead, he's taken for a walk. I saw that in Matlock. He's taking his ferret for a walk along all the chippies. Stopped outside and had a chippy, it did, with his ferret on a lead.
It's so quaintly British.
Yeah.
So they need to rebrand from Jaguar to ferret. And we're going to call them ferret cars from now on. Although I do love when things are labelled woke. They've gone, the advert and rebranding is all woke. I love it because I sit there thinking, do you genuinely choose which washing powder you're going to use and go say, I'm never, it used to clean all my clothes perfectly well, but I'm never touching it Because it's become all woke now. I might catch the wokeness from it. Like it's some sort of disease. It blows my mind that that's a thing. They say all good things must come to an end, but they don't mention all bad things as well. And that includes This Is a Fine Show, as a wee natter, as we call it, for another week, unfortunately. But we will be back next week with show number 100. We'll do something special if we can.
2 lots of mince pies then.
Yeah, find out what happens next week.
Faces are